How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Mechanical Mayhem. I'm Luke from Oatmeal Robotics, and let's just get straight into it. We got some robots here, so let's start fighting them. We got Lightning and we got Blank. Lightning, an original design from Living Murphy's Law. This is kind of my interpretation of it. We have some pretty good stats here. We have a lot of power, not a lot of defense, kind of a glass cannon, but it should hit pretty hard. So its opponent is going to be Blank, who has a lot of defense and a decent amount of power. So it's going to be kind of an unstoppable force versus an immovable object. So without further ado, let's see how they do down at the box. Alright, and here we go. Right off the bat, we can kind of see Blank getting into the middle, and a massive shot already on Lightning. And another one, Lightning flipped over. Oh my goodness, I can't even commentate this fast. Blank just kind of doing a couple of twirls, getting a nice shot in the back of Lightning. Lightning now right side up, and the weapon motor has come out, and a wheel has come off of Lightning. They're not looking too good right now, I can't lie. Blank, oh, and they've flipped Lightning. It looks like that is going to be it. Lightning kind of can't drive on that side, it looks like. That weapon probably is stopping those wheels from turning, and it looks like that is going to be a knockout for Blank. So it looks like Blank will move on in the winner's bracket, and Lightning will move on in the loser's bracket. So Blank still has another loss that they can take before getting eliminated. Lightning on their last legs already. Alright, our next fight is going to be Matador and Missile. These are two very different robots, so we'll go ahead and start off with Matador, who is a flipper that is very fast. Those forks are nice and low. It's got defense all around, so they're looking to control Missile. And Missile is literally just a hypershock with a bigger spinner and a drone motor in it. It's going to be very fast. It's going to hit very hard. It's not going up against a spinner like Blank, so those wheels should hopefully stay intact, but we are looking at whether or not Matador can control Missile before Missile piles up the damage on Matador. So let's see if they can do it down at the box. And it looks like we're about to get started here any second. And Missile with a great box rush, flipping Matador and ripping off one of those armor side things with those forks. Matador looks like they're not moving. Is Missile going to take advantage, or are they going to leave him there? And it looks like Matador is starting to move again. And it looks like they flipped Missile. This could be a pretty good turning point for the match as a whole. Looks like Matador is a little having some radio issues, or maybe they're just they can turn too quickly. It looks like Missile struggling to self-right, maybe some radio issues because they're upside down. But it looks like they're still at least moving. I don't know if that weapon vibrating them counts as movement, but at least they're going forward a little. Neither of these robots have made contact in the last couple of seconds, so... Is Missile dead? No, looks like they're still moving. Looks like they've just powered down that weapon to see if they can get them more control. Matador, it looks like Matador clamping down on them now, acting as a grabber. It's probably not good for the gear system, but I mean, neither is putting it in the arena, I guess. And it looks like Missile not moving. Oh, never mind. I should eat my words. Matador looks like they're just trying to carefully position a way to push Missile into the wall. Matador might be the one robot that turns too quick for its own good. We can see Missile just moving ever so slowly. Just doing just enough to avoid a count out. Couple little flips there from Matador. Missile still moving. Matador eating the wedge on Missile. And Missile flipped back over with that weapon back up to speed and immediately running into the wall. There might not be enough grip on the floor for Missile to drive properly. You can see it trying to turn and kind of just spiraling. Kind of like on ice. So let's see. It looks like Missile has loosened their own wedge, and that weapon is now kind of scraping against it. Hopefully that won't hurt their weapon power too much. And there goes the other side of Matador's forks. So, and ooh, nice shot from Missile. So Matador definitely behind in terms of effectiveness. And a massive shot from Missile sends Matador with the weapon open over the wall, Bronco versus Hydra style. Freeing them though, showing a good amount of aggression in the process. Matador with a nice shot lined up, but Missile stepped away. Good little flip there by Matador though. Missile in that corner, spinning the weapon down. Maybe they're trying to make sure it doesn't overheat. Looks like both of these robots are moving decently now. Matador deciding he wants to eat the arena. And it looks like that is going to be the match. Missile spinning because they think they've won it, but let's see. And it looks like they were on good authority to start that victory celebration, walking away with the win with that good amount of damage piled up on Matador. Alright, our next fight is going to be against Deadman and Bloodlust. Bloodlust sent in by Oof Robotics. A very deadly four-wheeled angled bite force spinner with a titanium bar and some other 3D printed discs. This thing is very hard hitting, and it's going up against Deadman, who, if you didn't know, is actually a Black Ops 2 Zombies reference to the song Love Song of a Dead Man, which is the opening of Transit. Anyhow, very strong Tombstone mod, kind of built to be the counter to Business Tombstone by Filming Buddy. This thing also has a drone motor in it. It's kind of a theme. Anyhow, hits very hard. Not meant for cutting, meant for kind of blunt force hitting. So these are two very powerful machines, and I'm excited to see how they fight. So to not waste any more time, let's head straight down to the box. Alright, we got the robots in the arena here, and it looks like the fight's underway. So we got Bloodlust with those sloped wedges and that big old disc, and already ripping off the back panel of Deadman, and a massive shot, sending Deadman flying, and it's landed on its own back panel. Bloodlust going in for more hits, freeing Deadman. They do have to be careful because any shot, weapon on weapon, could be catastrophic for either one of these robots. And we can see Bloodlust already losing a little bit of drive on that left side. But Deadman with its board exposed in that back area and the drone motor. So if Bloodlust can find a way back there, it could do some serious damage. But right now, Deadman's the one getting behind Bloodlust. Bloodlust not moving too well, but using the gyro from that massive disc, it's actually moving around fairly well, considering it only has one side of drive active. And it looks like Deadman has shot itself back on its own back plate. It looks like Bloodlust might not be able to go and free them. Deadman spinning down, spinning back up, trying everything. But it looks like Bloodlust isn't moving either. We might be heading for a double knockout. Let's see if, I think they're trying to decide whether or not Bloodlust's kind of vibrating counts as movement or not. We're gonna sit here and wait. And it looks like, I believe that they're starting to count them out any second now. Any second now. It looks like Bloodlust might be spinning down. And it looks like they are going to call that as a double KO. And it looks like it's going to go to Bloodlust, doing a lot more damage and having a little more control for a little bit longer. Our next fight is going to be Topple and Spellbreak. The first match without any spinners, we got Topple, who is just a standard beta lifter with some forks and some armor. Not too thick of armor, but it is still armor. Next, we have a robot by Living Murphy's Law. Again, we have Spellbreak, who is a lot faster in a straight line speed than Topple, but turning is not the best because that long, the long shape of it. If they can get Topple up on that flipper, then they can definitely get Topple knocked over. Topple might not be able to self-right from some angles, so this is really going to be a battle of control and placement. It's going to be a very interesting fight. Probably will go the full 3 minutes. But let's see if that happens or not down at the box. Alright, here we go. The robot's loaded in. And we're off. Spellbreak, you can see that their straight line speed is a lot faster, but their stat didn't show that they were too fast just because it kind of lumped together their straight line speed and their turning speed and everything. So overall, its mobility is a little touch and go. The actual one made by LML is a lot better than this one, but we can see Topple already losing their lifter. So now if they get flipped over, they are definitely out. There's no way that they can really self-right from there. But Spellbreak really just needs to line up a good shot. Topple able to kind of just control them now, but stuck in the wall. But Topple with those forks able just to kind of slot them under the chassis of Spellbreak and push them around. But Spellbreak able to move out the way just as easily. It looks like Topple is now stuck, but they get free once again. Spellbreak just trying to bide its time until it can get a nice little run up. If they can kind of get back on one side of the arena and rush and really ram into Topple, they can easily get them up there. Kind of like that, but they're going to need a little bit more space. A little more distance to build up some momentum to get under Topple better. But Topple is still stuck under that arena wall. Once again getting freed. Now they're locking horns. Seems like Topple actually has the torque in their drive needed to kind of go toe-to-toe with Spellbreak. So Spellbreak really just needs a ram like that. That is perfect. Can they get him over? 3 flips. 4. 5. So close each and every time. 6 flips. But they're just not able to make it happen. And now we can see Spellbreak just kind of backing up, trying to get a nice straight line so you can ram into Topple, kind of like that, but they're going to need a little bit more room. That's a nice pin from them, though. Topple not really able to do much, although they do have a pretty good hold on Spellbreak there. Topple, they just need to keep a straight face to Spellbreak for any hope of control and aggression. Maybe they can try hitting them with that little stick at the top of their head now, where that lifter used to be. But Spellbreak looking to be a little bit more agile than Topple. Topple continuing to get stuck under every possible wall in the arena. They lock horns once more. Topple doing a little pirouette or something to get out of that. It looks like now they're chasing down Spellbreak, who's trying to set up another good ram. Almost had a good one there, but not quite. And now they got another good little grab on Topple, but Topple able to get away pretty quick. And it looks like that's going to be the end of the fight. So let's see who wins. And it looks like it's going to go to Spellbreak. Topple just not able to do enough after losing that little flipper or lifter there. So they'll go to the loser's bracket. Topple, well, not Topple, sorry, Spellbreak going on to the winner's bracket. All right, our next fight is going to be Bullet Ant and Tungsten. These are... All right, looks like both of the robots are in the arena, and we are underway. Tungsten with that TPU wedge, looking to kind of deflect any hits from Bullet Ant. Bullet Ant, of course, not with the strongest weapon, but it looks like they have peeled up one of the forks on Tungsten. That is going to hurt their chances to kind of scoop up Bullet Ant and drop that hammer down. So let's see. It looks like Tungsten might be having a little bit of trouble driving on that right side. We'll have to keep a watch out on that, see if it comes back at all or not. It looks like it might be intermittent at the moment. Could definitely just be some gears that are a little gummed up. It looks like now Tungsten able to kind of fight for position to get under Bullet Ant again. They almost had a good chance a second ago, but you can see Tungsten not spinning up that disc. They want to conserve their battery power. It's running on the custom 2S LiPo, so it draws a lot of power really fast. So we're going to want to see them try to kind of conserve that weapon as much as they can. There it is starting to spin up there. They might be just kind of spinning it up, seeing if they can hit that antenna on Bullet Ant. But so far it doesn't look like they've hit anything yet. You can see Bullet Ant just kind of taking their time. They might not have the speed needed to get to the side of Tungsten. But right as I say that, they do. So good job, Bullet Ant, I guess. Tungsten really needs to get a good shot opportunity on Bullet Ant. If they can get a good opportunity, they are going to hit hard just like that. You can see that they actually took a little chunk out of the floor there. So Tungsten definitely having knockout power. They just need to place that robot a little better just like that. And let's see. And it looks like they've carved into the top plate of Bullet Ant, picking him up slightly, but ultimately getting that disc free. You can see that disc starting to spin up again. They're hoping that they can get another good hit. Bullet Ant with a nice little shot to the side. And it looks like Tungsten's fork is getting bent up more and more, so it might actually bend up and out of the way for them, which could actually help them in this situation. Tungsten not driving the best, but a great opportunity here. And they drop the hammer down. And one more time, and it looks like they've hit the weapon motor pulley for Bullet Ant, just taking out that weapon. What a killer shot. Tungsten, not as strong as something like Pumpkin per se, but the hits it does deliver are so precise that they can deal critical damage just like that. And we can see that they took off one of the antennas, and the other antenna, now Bullet Ant is just headless. You can see that there's no pulley on that motor there. They might have to replace that after the match. And now this is definitely Tungsten's fight to win. All they have to do is just kind of control Bullet Ant a little. Bullet Ant missing a fork, missing its head. All it is a box with wheels, and if they get flipped over, that motor's still there, so I don't think they'd be able to drive upside down. You can see the weapon belt from Bullet Ant also on the floor, so it's in several pieces, but they actually are under Tungsten now. They almost got him hide-centered on one of the antennae there. Tungsten just trying to spin up the weapon on the floor, seeing if they can hit Bullet Ant because it's so low, but it looks like that's going to be the end of the fight, and it's going to go to Tungsten. A great first showing from them. If they can get that drive issue sorted out, they could be a real strong contender. Alright, next we got Centrifuge and Bastille. So first we got Bastille. A-A-O, A-O, A-A-O, A-O, A-A-O, A-O, A-A-O, A-O. I was left to my own devices. Yeah, this robot's pretty durable. Not much else. Anyhow, we also have Centrifuge. Now this robot is really cool. The spinner is nice and sharp, but it seems to have lost power from last time. So it might not be hitting that hard, but it is still a very good control robot. So it's going to be interesting to see if they go with more of a control robot style, just assisted with an overhead spinner, or if they'll try to get that spinner more in play. They definitely have an upgraded radio system this season, or at least it's just fixed from last time where they were just driving into the walls. So they can actually like move now, which is fantastic. So let's see. These robots are both kind of mid, I can't lie. But anyhow, let's see how they do down at the box. All right, here we go. We're in the arena, and the fight is underway. You can see Bastille coming out, trying to get a box rush, but Centrifuge just taking its time, getting a nice shot on the back little Lego support thing, covering the flipping mechanism there on Bastille. Bastille not wanting to face Centrifuge, but there they go, they finally get it. Bastille not moving that well. Centrifuge a little better, but Centrifuge is a little slow, but at least it has a direction it can move in now. So Bastille actually seems to be... Oh, there we go. It's pretty quick when it wants to go somewhere. Let's see if they can get a flip. Oh, a nice flipping opportunity from Bastille, but they couldn't quite get it. Centrifuge with some nice shots. Centrifuge's weapon, I mean, it's light, so it'll spin up nice and fast. It just might not be delivering the biggest hit. Then again, it's probably like... It's still decent. It's just not the, like, you know, up to snuff with the rest of the robots in this tournament. But overall, it's still a very cool design. I still like it a lot. Anyhow, they got Bastille up on those forks again. Those forks are very low on Centrifuge. They can get under a lot of stuff. And they're also very wide, so they kind of they slot in under a lot of robots really nicely. And also apparently the wall. Ooh, a good flipping opportunity from Bastille. With that wraparound wedge, though, Centrifuge is actually really wide, so it's going to be hard to flip him over. Not to mention those long forks and that kind of little black tail that it has now. That's where the receiver is. I moved it as far out as I could without it being like too in the way of anything. But it looks like they've spun down their weapon to kind of control Bastille into that wall. But now they got it back up to speed. Bastille not looking like it wants to drive. Let's see if Centrifuge will do anything with that. Oh, nope. Bastille looks like it's back. Bastille's having some very weird intermittent drive issues, but I don't know. Maybe it's getting caught up on the floor or something. I don't know. What was the last fight? I don't know. You just watched it. Maybe there was like debris on the floor if it was like a strong robot or something. I don't know. We swept in between some of these fights. Definitely the further we went into the tournament, the more we swept because there was just so much damage. Anyhow. And there goes the flipper on Bastille. To keep up with its tradition of losing all of its parts in every fight, it throws its flipper. So that's gonna hurt its effectiveness score because this is probably going to the judges. And now they're in the wall, so that's lovely. Well, here goes Centrifuge. They're spinning up. A nice another hit, and they're stuck together. Oh my goodness. What an end to the fight. And it looks like there's not enough time for them to call for an unstick, so they're just gonna let the clock run out here, and that's the end of the fight. So this is probably gonna go to Centrifuge, and it does. They actually did something, and Bastille, just typical with the French, it removed its own head. Anyhow, we have Ocean Commotion versus Polymer next. So let's start off with Polymer. This is a collaboration between me and Chaotic. Chaotic making the 4-bar lifter mechanism. I made the rest. And it's going up against another Chaotic Robotics robot. This one, all him, Ocean Commotion. I don't think I really need to introduce this robot. It is quite the legendary bot indeed. Super strong, super quick, very durable, just a very solid robot. Chaotic actually went ahead and made some forks specifically for the season, so it'll be a little bit more competitive than usual as well. So look out for this thing to make a deep run in this tournament, hopefully. Very strong, like I said. It's a very solid robot. It's kind of like Bite Force, if Bite Force had a bigger weapon. So without further ado, let's see how it does down in the box. Okay, guys, what you're actually seeing right now, we're going to show you 2 fights because we actually fought these guys multiple times, or 2 times. So here's the first fight right now. We can actually see Ocean Commotion actually, it gets some good shots. Polymer moves around. It actually does pretty decent. And then right there, Ocean Commotion's belt fell off, right? So then it shoved Polymer into the wall, and then Polymer just dies, right? So, like, we just decided, like, hey, you know what? Let's put the belt back on. Let's turn Polymer back on, and we'll just pretend like this fight never happened, right? So now, here's the actual fight that we did. So the robots get up to speed, and Polymer is dead. Okay, Polymer just, it's not moving anymore. Okay, but we still wanted to hit it with Ocean Commotion a little. So just enjoy the rest of this fight. I'm not gonna commentate on it because it's sad. I mean, okay, I guess I'll commentate because it's already almost over. You can see like a really good strong shot from Ocean Commotion. Polymer's, it's literally not even on. I don't know. It has a horrible case of the shutoffs. I think it gets fixed after this fight though somehow. And yeah, you can see a wheel's off, a belt's off. This was really just test driving for Ocean Commotion and just, you know, kind of so it could flex a little. I don't remember if anything else interesting happens in this fight, so I'm gonna watch it with you guys. But yeah, Polymer just kind of on the edge, in the corner the whole time, and then Ocean Commotion almost gets him out the arena there, and then the belt comes off again, and then Polymer gets thrown out the arena. So that's the entire fight. Good job, Ocean Commotion. They move on. Polymer, hopefully it gets fixed, but oh well. Anyhow, next we got Terror and Phantom. This was actually requested by 2 Penny Milk. So first we got Terror, a massive spinner powered by a drone motor. However, it does take a little bit of time to get up to speed, so they want to keep away from Phantom as much as possible and get that weapon spun up, and then they're a monster. It's going to be very hard for Phantom to stop them if they get up to speed. Speaking of Phantom, one of the most highly anticipated rookies this season has a drone motor that powers that massive 37-gram-ish drum. Those drive motors are actually flipped backwards into the battery tray, and the whole thing is powered off of a 1S LiPo, so it can fit that massive drum in there. And despite only having one exhibition match against Flabbergast, where it absolutely tore that robot to shreds, it has also won HRCL 4 the most recent season, which was very surprising considering it really wasn't that popular beforehand. But I'm very happy with it. Also, I love HRCL. I just want to say big thank you to LML for running that for so many seasons successfully. Anyhow, let's get right into the fight down at the box. All right, and here we go. The screws are on, and it's robot fighting time. You can see how quick Phantom can get up to speed. Terror needing to really put some distance. Those drive motors might be a little too powerful for their own good. You can see they got a nice shot on Phantom there. They really need to stop hitting the wall and get some open air for that spinner. You can see Phantom just kind of uppercutting them, though. Chasing them down. And Terror now doing a handstand. They're stuck. Phantom getting a nice shot there. I can't even keep up with Terror. It is really fast. Holy cow. Phantom getting under them. Popping that wheel up. Phantom just being very nice and controlled right now. And Terror being not that. But you can see Phantom just kind of waiting for Terror to finish spazzing out. And then it comes in and it'll do its job. Phantom's a very competitive design. Terror's very much a gimmick robot, but both of these robots powered by the same drive motor, or weapon motor, sorry. And they both have very strong hitting capabilities. Terror more so. So if they can really just create a little bit of distance against Phantom, they can turn this fight around very easily. So Phantom really has to be careful. But it looks like they're not scared at all to go to weapon on weapon. They know that they have the weapon advantage with their drum being so much smaller. They have an uppercutting style advantage. And a nice big hit there from Phantom. And they've knocked Terror out of the arena, throwing that entire weapon over the wall. That's about 60 plus grams. So Phantom will move on in a pretty impressive showing. Terror, hopefully they calm down for their next fight. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's going to do it all for today. If you liked this, make sure to, maybe like it. Maybe if you want to see more, subscribe. I don't know. I'm not your dad anyhow. But next episode should hopefully come out a little quicker. I don't know. I am in college now, so it's going to be kind of hard just recording without my roommates in the room. Anyhow, I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.